Did you?
Mhm.
They don't just presume we're coming now?
Oh, I have to put something up in that back
you got a
window.
big... Oh, good window blocker. So I wonder if anyone can hear me. Check, 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 check.
Oh my god, my hair looks amazing today. Look at that.
Oh my god, I look like I just fell out of the woods.
Good morning,
Oh, morning,
Raiders
guys.
and Jeff. Nice to see you. Popcorn Powers, good morning.
Let's go hit the thumbs up. Popcorn Power.
No sound yet. Okay.
Oh no,
Oh.
you broke your sound.
Checking. Can you hear us now? It should be. I used it yesterday. Let us know if you can hear us in the comments.
Still no sound. Still no sound. Yeah, sound. Blah, 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 blah. What if we take the mic out? Then we hear from the thing, but it's not as good, right?
It's not as good. But sometimes if I just rotated it. Oh, good.
Oh,
okay.
Wait. One person says he can hear.
Popcorn Power, unmute your thing.
All right, two people say they can hear us. That's good enough for me.
Okay. Should I start the usual disclaimer?
Okay.
Okay, guys.
I'll go to sleep for a minute.
I just want to remind you that during the questions and answers part of the thing.
See, I would just say, don't be a dick.
There you go.
But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, I mean that's one way of saying it.
I'll be Dashaina. Don't ask any questions that you wouldn't answer yourself. In other words, just don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick.
So just be considerate of our, time and family.
Well, Popcorn Power says we should just mime today.
Mime it all.
No, the only thing we can do by mime is like smack each other, and I don't know.
And squish head.
My head is unsquishable.
Yeah, it is unsquishable. All right. Oh, we can hear now. Yay!
Is there other stuff you needed to say?
I don't think so. No, not today.
Well,
oh, yes, there was something else. I just remembered. Right. So if you guys are going to ask questions, I just want to remind you, please type the word in capital letters, question, at the beginning, or put 2 question marks, and that makes it easier for us to see it in the comments when we're scrolling through to answer questions. When it comes to that, we're going to spend the first probably 5 to 6 minutes or so talking about stuff, and then we're going to open up for questions and answers and random chat, etc. So...
Well, I was just going to talk about my week.
Yeah.
And I've been feeling kind of overwhelmed this week a lot because I started thinking about all the things I have to do. And I started thinking about that because I was having a slowdown in progress. You know what that's like when you have a slowdown in progress? I've been trying to spackle the outside of my house, the cathedral. Now, it is a huge thing, so it takes a while. However, the first week, I got kind of a lot done. And then it was like 2.5 weeks, I got like basically nothing done. Because one day there was a thunderstorm, another day I had to go to town, then another day something else came up, and for like 2.5 weeks, I didn't get anything done. And then a couple days ago, I got a bunch done. I started feeling a little better. But during that whole time when I was getting nothing done, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I can't even get this spackling done. And this is just the first thing in a huge series of like things I have to do. Like I have to finish the spackling, then I need to do the roof so it doesn't drip anymore. Then I need to build the 2nd and 3rd floor, but to do that, I need to build a lumber mill. And before I can even use a lumber mill, I need to set up some solar panels for it. And I'm not just going to throw those out in the yard. I need to like build a thing to put them on. And then to even just get wood, I need to make a way to get the wood from where I have a lot of trees to where I can cut them, which is it's not just like a road or something. It's like the ocean part's no problem, but then there's like mud and some ups and downs and stuff, and I gotta dig out some channels so I can get the boat right up to the spot where I can get logs in, and then I have to figure out how to move like 1,000-pound, 2,000-pound logs. I'll probably roll them with big lever thingies, like log dogs. What are they called? Anyway,
those hook.
And then I have all these plants I'm trying to grow, and I need to get dirt from the one land that has a lot of dirt to fill in some raised beds, because I don't want to move dirt from off my island into the raised beds, because I'm like, hey, I'm on an island. I got very limited amount of dirt. Like I know exactly how much dirt there is. But this other land has got tons of dirt. I could take a few wheelbarrows from that and put it in my raised beds and whatever. But to get to get to the dirt from the raised beds, I have to do the same thing that I was doing to get the logs. I need to make a way in there. And I'm just thinking about all this. Like, this is what I do when the kids aren't over. And it's like the sun goes down and it's like, even like during dinner, like I'm eating dinner, I'm by myself. Sometimes I'll watch like an episode of Firefly or something. But then after that, I'm just like, my brain is just like, oh my gosh, I have so much stuff to do. And yeah, when I'm not making progress, it starts feeling like it's just going to take forever. But then I just have to remind myself, I just gotta keep going one step at a time. And even if I'm not making any progress on a day, as long as I'm pushing in the right direction, it's I'll get there. And then I needed to bring some videos over so you could upload them. And so I put a bunch together last night because I actually had electricity because the sun finally came out. And so I made 5 videos of things I'd done in the last couple of weeks. And then I realized, I haven't gotten nothing done. I have actually gotten some things done. So I used to have this situation in Vermont before we moved here too. Like, I'd be out in the woods getting all this stuff done. And then every once in a while I'd be like, I haven't gotten anything done in so long. And then I'd look back like 3 weeks ago and I'm like, everything is different. How did this all happen? Oh, it's because I'm actually making some progress. So yeah, whenever I feel like I'm not making progress, I just have to remember, just keep going, stick to my principles, keep doing what I know I should be doing. And even if I'm not making any progress, even if I'm going backwards, as long as I'm pushing in the right direction, I'm going to get somewhere. That's all I have to say about this week. Wait, what else happened this week?
Well, you had your kids.
I had my kids like.
You had them at your house like for like several days.
Yeah, but I always have them at my house. You mean they came to my house like a day earlier than they usually do?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was cool. Yeah. We had lots of fun actually.
Good. What did you guys do?
Well, they haven't told you anything yet?
I literally got bit by a snake and then that was the end of the day.
And we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so you know how I've been collecting all this styrofoam.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone who doesn't know, my house is largely made out of styrofoam, the cathedral. It's a Styrocrete, so styrofoam mixed with concrete. Mixed with cement to make concrete. Oh, Aurora would jump down my throat if she heard me mix up cement and concrete. Mm-hmm. Cement is the glue. Concrete is the entire mixture. Anyway, so in collecting all this styrofoam, I would often get garbage bags from people full of styrofoam, and it would be like 3/4 styrofoam and then like some other foam, or maybe just some half-eaten burrito, like just garbage, and that's so irritating. So I had a whole bunch of this just foam stuff, and then I had a bunch of other bags of like styrofoam like beads, which don't really stick to the cement that well, so they're not great for it.
Was this the stuff that went into the chairs?
Yes, it was originally for like these big beanbag chairs. So guess what I made yesterday?
What?
Maybe it was 2 days ago. No, it was yesterday. I don't know when it was. Sometime
since Thursday.
I think it was yesterday. I just made like a giant like Oreo cookie out of cloth, like pretty tough cloth. And I sewed it like 7 times to make sure it gets no holes, because I stuffed it with all the foamy.
An Oreo cookie.
Yeah, or like a cake.
The cookie part?
Like a hockey puck.
A hockey puck. Okay.
Like a giant hockey puck.
So not like 3 layers or something.
No, like a hockey puck, but
like a tea biscuit.
Like a hockey puck.
Like a hockey puck.
It was approximately the dimensions scaled up from a hockey puck.
Of this thing behind us?
So it's like 2 big circles that were 5 feet across.
Whoa.
And then like a strip of cloth around to make like a hockey puck, except huge.
What kind of material did you use?
I used like nylon.
The white nylon stripy stuff?
Not stripy. There's white nylon stuff that you would like make a heavy duty tent out of, stuff like that.
The one you made Aurora's dress that she won't show me?
Yeah, why won't you show it? Anyway, that's a whole separate thing. Yeah, I'm getting taken off so many tangents right now.
Material.
Anyway, I made this huge thing, and then we spent like 2 hours stuffing it with like all those styrofoam beads, and then we, all the other foam, plasticky foam stuff that I had no use for. We cut that up into chunks and threw that in there. I have a video of it. Anyway, So now I have this giant
Here, could you put your hand in front of my face?
giant
More right
beanbag
there.
chair at my house. So that's what the kids sat on for movie night.
Nice. So
Yeah.
they could all like pile on it.
We could all pile on it. Although somehow those three little buggers took up the entire thing.
Yeah.
Even though it's huge, I could have just jumped in there and squeezed in, but I didn't want to get so hot. It was so hot. It's been so hot the last couple nights.
Should we
But it's not like super duper hot. It's like comfortable as long as I'm not touching anyone.
Yeah.
Kind of hot.
Or myself.
Yeah, if I'm touching anything, I need a
like
fan.
Starfish. Don't touch your skin.
But it's not like hot like Florida summer hot where even if you have a fan on, it just feels like it's blowing hot air at you.
Yeah,
and
it feels like cool air. It's blowing once there's a fan on, I think.
Yeah, this is one of the things I love about this climate. Like, it's never so hot that a fan doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that's...
Should we check it?
I also upgraded my my zombie chopper.
Nice.
I made... Oops. Oh, you kicked the thing. So, it's the white boat, and I refurbished it a couple weeks ago. So I refurbished it a couple weeks ago, and then I drove it to town and back.
Right.
And it was, a fair amount faster than my other boat. So I was like, ooh, I want to start driving this boat more often.
Right.
And it has 4 solar panels, and to max out the motor that I have on it, I would need like 6 solar panels. And I was like, well, if I can get one more solar panel on the roof, then it'll be a lot closer to running the motor full power. Mm-hmm. So it had 4 solar panels lined up like this.
Right.
So I took like 3 of them. Well, I ended up lining up 4 like this, and I still had space for 1 in the front. So I got 5 total. I couldn't fit 6.
No.
So I got 5 total, and I made it so it tilts, which makes a huge difference.
Oh, so you do want it tilting?
I totally want it tilting. I don't. You're insane.
Oh, it was a different boat that you.
So if I'm driving north south, I can aim it at the sun.
Yeah.
So when I'm going to town, because this is always a big consideration. Like if I'm most of the long distance places I go around here are north south.
Right.
So I can leave early in the morning, and if the sun comes up at 7. If my solar panels are like this or like this and the sun's coming like this, I get basically nothing. But if I can crank them over like that, then I can get like the sun as soon as it comes up and be cruising. And then on the way home, I can get the sun like all the way till it goes down.
All right.
And did some other stuff.
Should we check in with our people?
Yeah. What's anyone talking about?
Okay. Hi guys.
Hi, talkers.
Catching up.
Why no rapiers? What do we need rapiers
for?
for?
That was miming. Hold on, I just want to see this real quick.
Best way to ask a question, Tomater.
Thank you so much for your super chat.
I should move everything heavy like an Egyptian.
Oh, Tomaters, thank you for Happy Mother's Day.
Is it Mother's Day?
Yeah, apparently it is. I found out this morning when I did my breakfast live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your journey is my pipe dream. We'll get out of the pipes.
Okay, so
or
Jeff
do whatever you want.
Turkey would like to know. So I was wondering about workshop maybe this fall and winter.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even get to that. So in my huge list of things I need to do, so right now my house is just, it's not overly stuffed with stuff, but it's got more stuff in it than I want because everything's on the first floor and it's supposed to be a 3-floor thing, which it will be. And then I want to build a separate workshop and put all the tools there. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to that.
We're in May right now.
And I want to figure out a really good spot to put it too. And I have a spot that I think I want to put it, but it is not it's going to need some landscaping.
Yeah.
It is not ready at all.
End of the year?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so. I would love to have a workshop before the end of the year.
Yeah.
The thing is all this stuff, and I learned this when I first went off grid in Vermont. All this stuff seems like it's going to take forever and it's never going to happen. And then suddenly it's like, oh, hey, it's done. Even my house over here, the cathedral.
Yeah.
For years it was something I was thinking about and thinking, oh, well, I know I'll get to that eventually, but oh my gosh, it's going to take forever. And now it's there,
Yeah. And it didn't even take years.
It took a year. If you count all the landscaping and all the digging it took to get in there, and it was 2 years.
Yeah.
But just building the house, it was a year.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Yes, point, John, that you would answer so many questions that most people would not. All right, so I see we got a bunch of other visitors. Joseph Blowmeister, Talia Rose, nice to see you. Let's see who else is here. We're looking for some questions if there are any.
They just want me to start talking.
You're a hard worker, shut up. Stephen Alter, nice to see you. Why worry about what other people think of how hard you work, or if you don't even feel like working, or if you want to work, that's totally up to you.
I don't care what other people think at all, but I care what I think. I'm way harder on myself than anyone else anyway.
Will owners do seller financing with private islands?
Yeah, a lot of people would.
Some people do.
Sure.
Yeah, actually, I think that some people do.
That's sort of like asking, like, can a weight be 5?
How many watts? I think he's talking about the solar panels and your motor. Your motor, I think, is what he's asking about. So Greg is asking how many watts, I think, on the motor of the
I did talk about a few different things. Okay, the motor on the zombie chopper, my white boat, is 1,100 watts. And I currently, with the 5 solar panels, I have like 1,000, a little over, they're 216 watts each. Although you never really get the whole thing. So...
But you'll use the whole thing.
It'll be like, it's like 900, 1,000 watts. So, yeah, I'm a little bit short, but it's pretty close to full power if I have good sun.
Okay, let's
And it goes pretty fast. I mean, not like a gas motor boat or anything.
Jeff Krupke wants to know, I have wanted to pour a boat barge out of Aircrete Styrocrete that is built around a shipping container.
Do it. That's not a question. He's just telling us what he wants to do. I said, great.
Yeah, I say do it.
I would be, wait. So the Aircrete, I don't, well, I guess it probably depends how you make it. But I've had very limited Aircrete experience. But in my very limited experience, it sinks because the water goes right through it. It's like porous, you know? Like it's got like bubbles, but they don't. So
Styrocrete.
It's not really like bubbles as much as it's just kind of like water will go right through it, so it would sink. But maybe he knows how to do it in a way that will, hold.
Well, that's why I think he also suggested Styrocrete, or Styro-Aircrete. Maybe you meant to say Styrocrete.
Well, he said Aircrete, Styrocrete. So yeah, if I was making something that floats, I would definitely use the Styrocrete because like.
Well, we talked about doing some floating
docks. I want to do floating docks. That's another thing that's like on my list because I don't really have a super good spot to go swimming at my house yet. And I also don't want to make a really nice spot to go swimming where other people are going to drive their boats up. Yeah. Like one of the things I love about my island is that from the outside, it just looks like this thing there's no way in. Like I've had people come to visit and they'll drive around the entire island and I'll go stand up at the top and I'll be like, hey, and they're like, how do you get in here? And I'm like, yes. So I don't really want to make like a nice dock sticking out to go swimming. So I'm thinking about.
Well, what about something over there on the side where the.
Well, I'm thinking about like maybe a fiberglass thing with floats on the end, sort of like a long wheelbarrow, but it's floating on the end. And I can just take it on the land, go to the edge of the land and like kind of stuff it in some holes or something, and it would stick way out, and then I can walk on it and go jump and swim and stuff, and then get back out, and then I can grab it and retract it back in.
Right. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right now to go swimming, I kind of have to like walk out in this mushy stuff till it's deep enough I can jump in.
Stan Parsons Tree Service is asking, what about the dragon scale roof? And he's talking about what you talked about a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so I want to waterproof my roof. I have ordered materials for the dragon scales for my roof. So they should be here in a month, less than a month.
Oh yeah, the container ships on the 2nd of June.
All right, so whenever they get
2
here.
weeks after that.
Yeah, so before that gets here, I need to be done the spackling of the outside of my house. And I'm also going to need more sand. And our sand and rocks delivery guy has been a bit of a schmuck, and we're not using him anymore. So I may be going to get the stuff myself, which is going to add some more work. We might find someone else, though. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But that brings up another thing that I've been wanting to do. And the more I think about all these things I need to do, the more relevant it becomes, which is build, the ultimate boat. I know I have so many boats, but like I've learned so much on all these boats. And like I'm pretty confident at this point.
This would be like the 7th boat.
Yeah. Like at this point, I feel like I could make like a boat that I won't feel like I want to constantly build another one. And part of the thing is like the boat I'm using most of the time right now is one of the first, at least the hull of it is one of the first boats I made when we got here. So, I mean, there are definitely improvements. It's just, it ended up being the one that was like a really good size for a lot of different things and a really good shape. And, it's a catamaran. And I really like that because, it's got a nice deck on the front. It's kind of like a pickup truck. I can put lots of stuff in it. But the hulls could definitely be better shape. And there's a lot of little things I would improve. Now, the zombie chopper, that is a pretty slick, like polished, finished boat. The only problem with that is it can't hold much cargo. But like if I'm just like driving somewhere and I just want to get there fast, just me, maybe another person or me in the groceries or whatever, it's great for that. So it's not like all the boats are like obsolete or anything.
No, they just have various uses, and some you don't use as often as the others.
Yeah, and the biggest boat, what's it called, the shark slicer. I'm considering just like renovating that,
refitting it.
Refitting that to make it the boat.
Yeah, that's a
cool boat. The problem is though, it is a really cool boat, but the problem is I'm going to be like kind of chopping stuff up and putting stuff together, and it's not going to end up being like exactly what I want to do.
Yeah. I think I still think it would be cool to refit that one and make it into like an RV where we could have like guest accommodations floating out in the bay, when we have people here.
Yeah, but I don't want to leave it floating out. That's the problem.
No, I just mean like we would put it out or bring it in, but like if we needed it.
Right, but if it's going to be in the water, once I get the barnacles cleaned off, someone has to go under there pretty regularly to make sure the barnacles.
I guess I meant like short-term staying, not like months.
Right, but like a week, like someone's going to have to do it a few times.
Yeah, maybe that's part
of
my
boat.
Maybe that's part of their rent.
I scrub off the bottom of the boat like every day when I'm using it. Yeah. When I park it at my house, it doesn't seem to grow any barnacles or anything, but that's kind of because like water sometimes, right? when it gets really low tide, it's kind of touching the bottom, so I think that keeps things from growing on it.
Yeah. Well, it could be part of their
I'm not trusting someone else to do that. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Oh, can you just make sure you clean off the barnacles? Just, take a brush and just wipe it off, every day. Then it's a piece of cake. But if you wait a few days, then you got to kind of scrape, And then like 3 weeks later, so how's the barnacles going? I got that taken. And I look and it's like just covered, caked in like a disaster. Yeah, I'm not.
Bad idea. Okay, moving on. So Scale Me Up would like to know, did you find any information or did you have any idea on the waterproofing of ancient roofs?
No,
that
nothing.
You could use in your area?
Yeah, like a few people sent stuff, but it was all like wood roofs, like nothing for like a concrete dome.
Yeah.
You're welcome, John Chrisman. I do my best. Wait, what was that about my boats?
Your boats are the best.
They are the best. Even though I want to improve stuff, like I would not want another boat. Mostly because like at this point, the idea of stopping to get gas is just such a revolting activity to me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, actually.
And I know I used to drive a truck and I would stop for gas. But now it's just, all right, what's
Somebody was asking that actually recently. They were having a conversation about whether, like, why you wouldn't get a motor, like a gasoline powered motor for like emergencies to just have. And somebody else was saying, well, storing the gas, like it eventually loses its
and then also the motor, like if I'm never using it, like it's just gonna get all crusted up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that answers
that. If I was gonna have something for emergency, I'd probably rather have like a big battery.
Yeah.
That I can put on, like the The zombie chopper goes pretty fast. It's still not as fast as a gas boat, but like if I put a battery on that where I could run at full speed, I could get to town in like double the amount of time a gas motor could, which is still fine.
Right. Like double the amount of time a gas motor could? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like if they take 40 minutes, I take an hour and a half or hour and 20 minutes, whatever.
Would you ever consider getting one of the, pre-made electric motors that are out there?
Oh, I did have one. It lasted 6 months.
Yeah.
That was a free one for review.
Yeah. I mean, more of maybe the name brand ones that are like $5,000.
I would consider it, but I'm not gonna spend $5,000 on it. The thing is, like, oh my gosh, what just happened? Do you want to check it out?
I guess I have to go check. Be right back.
There's a kid dying downstairs. Hey guys, what's going on? So the question is, would I buy an electric motor? Probably not, because they're too expensive. But if someone wanted to send me one and do a review or whatever, and it was a high quality thing that it was supposed to be that I would probably be able to use, then yeah. But other than that, if I'm gonna choose between spending $5,000 and spending $500 and spending some time and making something myself, I'll just make something myself. Partly because then I can also do all the stuff to make sure it's going to last a long time. I've learned a bunch of stuff about boat motors, mostly about boat motor maintenance and how to build them so they don't need maintenance. So one thing I never want to have is moving parts under the water. Moving parts under the water suck. Other than like a bearing. But if I'm going to have a bearing underwater, I want it to be lubricated with seawater. No seals that can break and then the seawater gets in there and wrecks it. No, it's got to be able to handle the seawater already. And but other than that, most of them just rely on these little rubber gaskets. $5,000 motor relies on a 10-cent rubber gasket to keep it from being destroyed. And I don't like that, even if it lasts a really long time. Hold on, let me just check on something. Are you guys all right down there? Are you coming back?
Yeah, I have to clean up a poop insert.
Oh, there's a situation down there. Have you float tested your Styrocrete? Okay, so how much weight can the Styrocrete hold?
Yeah, I am coming back up. I just finished cleaning this up.
I haven't done a big size test or anything, but picking it up, it's very obviously much lighter than the equivalent amount of water. So yeah, it should float fine. And I feel like I don't need to do a test before making a floating dock, for example. If I made a dock that was I don't know, as wide as I am tall, just a big square and this thick or something, I'm pretty sure I could stand on it, no problem. And I would be confident enough in that to just do it. Of course, if it wasn't floaty enough, I could always add more on the top, but I would make it, if it was a foot thick, it would definitely float with me. And a few kids standing on it, Oh, I need to ask Margaret Thatcher how the ancients waterproofed the roof. Hydrofoil it. Okay, the question of hydrofoils. I just kind of put hydrofoils aside because it's one of those things that works really well in perfect conditions. And doing life, I've learned that all this, I want to do things that work in normal conditions. So I don't want anything that needs to be in perfect conditions to function. And if hydrofoils aren't in perfect condition, then they're just in the way. That doesn't mean at some point I will never make some, but if I'm gonna make a hydrofoil boat, it'll probably just be a little personal transport. Maybe 1 or 2 people can get in it, no cargo or anything, and just use it once in a while to go somewhere real fast. But I'm always taking cargo places anyway. Does covering the panels on the zombie chopper extend their life? Yes. So the solar panels on the zombie chopper are plastic. And right now they're not covered, but the boat is parked under trees. So it gets a little bit of sun during the day, but not very much. Let's see. Oh, could I do a video with updates on all boats that I have and their condition and future plans? Well, I just did a couple of videos on one of them and one I drive. I'll try to keep that in mind. Have I seen the YouTube channel for Primitive Life? He just demonstrates an ancient concrete which could be replicated in your area. Well, if I was going to make my own concrete here, which I do plan to do, I would probably use shells. And the way you do it with shells is the same way you do it with limestone rock. Basically, you take the shells or your limestone and heat it up in a fire. And if you get it hot enough, then if you throw them in water, they'll disintegrate and bubble and turn into this stuff called quicklime, which is basically like watery cement. And then you mix that with your sand and rocks and you get concrete, which I do want to do for sure. I want to do all that stuff myself at some point. All right, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, let's scroll down. Sorry, I'm way slower at this when Dashaina's not here because she usually takes care of this stuff. The electric bulldozer, what is it doing today? It's just hanging out, sitting there. That's another thing on my list I have to get to. I have to take it apart to get it over to my island. And I don't need to take it apart to get it to my island. I need to take it apart to get it off your island because it's now locked in by gardens and stuff.
Okay, Simon asks, amazing work, guys. Your videos are great. How would you mill a log that's 5 feet wide?
Probably chainsaw. Well, the lumber mill I want to make is a swing blade one. So that if I might have to lift it up. No, I couldn't even get it out of the jungle though. Sorry. All right, I'd go out there with my, if I had a 5 foot wide log, I take my chainsaw, which has a 28-inch bar, so it would get almost halfway through. And I'd just start cutting off maybe like foot by foot pieces, 12-inch by 12-inch, 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter chunks, because I can lift those and carry them to where I was going to cut them. Unless for some reason I actually want boards that are super wide, and with my chainsaw I can cut up to 28 inches wide. Although that would be really pushing it.
Pitchwife says, Jaimie, your outlook seems one of boundary disillusion. You've ignored the rules as they were set out and have even learned contempt for them. My question is, have you succeeded in finding a better way?
Yeah, so yes, to everything there. Yeah, so our society is so full of rules that say what you can't do. Like that's what we learn in school. And by the time I was done with school, all I was trying to do was forget all the limitations that had been forced into my head, all the crap that said, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. And the more things I've done outside of what I was told was, possible, the more I realize all those rules are crap and we're being told we can't do things so that we'll do what some stupid people want us to do. It's just a way of control. Well, that is how they're controlling people,
It's
like if you
predict what somebody wants, if you tell them all things
you don't have to predict anything. You just tell them what to do and they do what you want, and then you make money or get whatever you stuff. Like it's just, that's how our society runs right now. It's like there are people, at the top of garbage, and there's a mosquito. Get it right there. Oh, you missed it.
And they're so fast.
And they spend all their time, putting out all these messages about what you can't do and what you can do, and most people go along with it. And like even when I was younger, I was like, oh, maybe I really can't do this because I'm being told, but my brain is telling me I should be able to do this stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah, at this point, I don't even listen to what I'm told I can and can't do. I just do what I think I should do, and I don't even. What I'm told I can't do doesn't even register. It just bounces off at this point. And yes, at this point now I have contempt for all the things that we're told we can't do, because it's it's just limiting people. Like people could be so much more if you just, not that I'm saying anyone's crap or anything, but even me, like I have limitations that I need to get through. I don't mean even me, like I'm the best in the universe or anything.
Oh.
I'm just saying, like people have so much more potential than we are given credit for, or than we give ourselves credit for. Like there's so much more that we could do, and we could be so much more interesting.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I really don't understand about, the slave drivers, the man telling people to all be the same and all this stuff. It just creates a very boring world. Like it must be really boring people who want that world.
Yeah.
The world could be so much more interesting if people could just get past all those limitations and just do what they think.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So I just want to do a quick shout out about how to send things to us should you wish to do that. Send an email to theadventurebuildermovie@gmail.com and we can work out those details.
Yeah. So
the description is Jaimie's Amazon wish list, which does also have the way to send stuff to us, but that's only if you're sending it via Amazon, because it's a different method if it's not being sent through Amazon directly. So in the description, you can find all the ways to help support Jaimie and our family.
Yeah. So that was the question.
So
was
the
like,
question was, what's the process for sending you stuff? I'm sure you don't just want unsolicited stuff showing up.
But if it's unsolicited stuff, it won't show up.
It won't show up.
We have to get it shipped into this country, and it just won't make it here if we don't send the receipt.
It's a kind of complicated process, but if you are interested,
that complicated. But yeah,
I don't think it's really super relevant to go through the whole process of what it is. But if there is something that you would like to send to us, please send us an email and we can get you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Question.
Well, she's gone. Show off your mad juggling skills. I need some stuff to juggle.
No, I'm here.
My juggling skills are not that
new
great.
Chainless e-bike solutions? If so, is this something you could build for your boat?
No, I have not. I have currently chainless propulsion thing. I have a big gear. What was
Mr. Landfill says, could you stand on your roof?
I'm pretty sure I could stand on my roof, because I did the calculation. I figured out how much one of those squares ends up weighing once it's spackled. And I weigh the same as maybe 2 of those squares. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be that much of I wouldn't make that much of a difference. Still, I would be nervous because it's not that thick. But I was like that, at the concrete dome that was over the spring in Vermont, which was that thick. Yeah, about that thick. And the first time I got in it, I was like, but then after I'd been on it a few times, I would just climb up there, no problem. And a huge tree landed on it once and just bounced right off. I couldn't believe it.
Stan Parsons Tree Service wants to know, can you invent a machine to melt trash plastic to make a practical tool, canoe, or mini dinghy?
That's something that I've been thinking about. It's kind of in the works. Because, plastic is, ugh.
Well, do you know that I would talk to, there's a plastic making company thing, not plastic making, but they go around this area specifically, and they are raising funds to make these machines that locals can use to grind up the plastic and then turn it into sheets. And she said they started out with panini makers.
Panini makers just...
they started out by just putting the plastic on the panini maker.
I do have a toaster oven that I've been thinking about making into a plastic melter and then just compressing stuff in there. But I would probably, the first thing I would probably do is just make blocks and machine them. Wait, what's non-duality? Have you ever heard of non-duality?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to explain what non-duality is?
Okay, so while we're waiting for that, let's see if we can catch up with our...
The bulldozer build was amazing. I love that bulldozer, man.
Thank you, Tomaters, for the thanks for being you pair sticker. The super stickers are funny. Okay.
Mosquito is Jamie's squirrel, except no, it kind of is my squirrel, isn't it?
Mosquitoes are fast. If you had to do it over, would you buy acres on an island with 5,000 residents, or would you buy your own island? Thinking about doing both to ease into my own island.
Oh, go straight to what you want to do. Don't. Yeah. If you do something that's halfway to what you really want to do, you're going to end up like wasting a lot of time and resources. Because like everything you do, you're going to be like, oh, well, I mean, this is cool, but it's not really what I want to do. Just go for what you really want to do. It's going to be harder at the beginning because it's going to be scary because you're going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm on an island by myself. There's no one to help me. But then you learn stuff. You learn stuff fast when you do it that way.
Roy Man.
What is wrong with this kid today?
It's because he just got back and he hasn't been here for a couple days. So he's a little overwhelmed emotionally. Roy Man says, Jaimie, do you think consciousness continues after death, or once you die, that's it? Well, that's a good question.
I don't know. I stopped asking that kind of stuff. I'm just like, what's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's whatever it is, I'll take care of it. Take care of business, whatever happens.
I just want to remind you guys, when you're asking questions, please make sure you write the word question in front of it or 2 question marks, because it makes it easier for us to find them when we're scrolling through the comments. So continue. Do you want me to read that first, or do you want to continue with your thought about that? So
one theory that I sometimes entertain in my head is that whenever you die, whatever you think's going to happen is what happens. And that's probably not the case, but it could be.
Could be.
So I sometimes, if I'm sitting around just twiddling my thumbs, I'll think about that. Like, what would I want to happen?
Yeah.
And maybe I should, just in case that is the case.
Yeah.
Maybe I should start thinking that something really cool is going to happen when I die. Yeah. Like lots of ladies, don't like, some people have like 40 virgins are going to greet you and like massage your shoulders and anyway.
Okay, so ZK4 responded with what non-duality was. And
can I read it?
Oh yeah, sure.
I can read. Watch this.
No, you can't.
Non-duality basically says we need unconditional love, aka just provide. Oh, I don't want unconditional love. Oh no, I don't like that. Okay.
Wait,
I think
you didn't read it.
Okay. Basically says we need unconditional love, aka just provide for the basic needs of people so people don't have to be wage slaves. I don't think no, that's just saying you are either this or that. And anytime you're given a binary decision, my instant reaction is, well, what about the other infinite number of things that could happen? Your only 2 choices, it's not that your only 2 choices are basically you're a wage slave or you get everything done for you or all your basics done for you. The way I think it should work, which is the way everything has worked like through all of history, is you work for things and then you earn them. Now the problem is that today that's been all distilled down to money. And if the only way you're providing for yourself is through money, then you're the wage slave. You're the slave to whoever controls the money. I mean, this is one of the reasons I moved out of the system, and now I live on an island in the middle of nowhere, which is like the best place to be. Because now I do all these things that have nothing to do with money. Like I plant food, and when I get the food, it's because I did the work. I build a boat, and the boat I get depends on what I directly did to make the boat. So, yeah, I don't agree with being a wage slave, and I don't think you should get anything done for you that you don't earn for yourself. I think both of those.
So on that aspect, do you think that, okay, let's say I'm really good at making soda, and you're really good at
drinking soda,
making something else that I could really use, but I'm not very good at doing it. Do you think that like bartering is an acceptable form of doing something, like to earn something? Do you understand what I mean?
Are you saying specifically without money?
Yeah, like specifically.
Money or no money doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I mean just earning your thing, or like making your thing, like does that
whatever you're doing, it counts.
So like I could make you soda and say, hey, could you make me a cool garden potting area? And you'd be like, yeah, dude, that's cool. Like, yes, so like that counts.
Totally fine.
Okay. Just wondering. So some of your lady followers would like to know what color your eyes are.
Lady followers?
They don't really show very well in this
video.
Yeah,
the color, you can see them a little bit. They're kind of green. Who's asking about my eyes? Well, this focuses really well.
Wow, it really does. Your eyes are showing up super green. All right, back it up.
Can you see the green?
Yeah, I can see the green. Look up at the circle.
I know, but I can't see my head. I want to look at my.
No, but look right there.
I know.
I'm
I'm looking.
Okay, no, back up.
They're greenish.
They're greenish. Question, Jaimie. I made the mosquito trap with UV LEDs, but it didn't catch anything. Could you make a video about how to work?
Wait, there was another part of that non-duality question. I think might have been.
Oh, okay, non-duality.
Non-duality is when.
No, you did a bad job reading last time. I'm going to read it this time. Non-duality is when there is no good versus evil or self versus other. We are all just viewed as one with each other, with nature, with the universe.
I think this is kind of a narrow view of the world. Like, I think it is important to see that we're all connected, right? However, there is also good and bad. Like, I don't think this is another one of those things where it's a binary question, and it's like, is it this or this? And it's neither. It's both, and you know. So yes, I think it's important to realize that whatever you are doing to the world is happening to you too, because you're in the world. If you're crapping in the world, you're in that world. You're getting crapped on, and if you're doing good things for the world around you, you end up being in a better world. So it's important to realize that, you know, we are all connected, but then it's also important to realize, you know, good versus bad, you know, and maybe, you know, maybe the idea of good and evil is only relevant in certain contexts, but then you just have to look at it in the context of, okay, I'm a biological thing, so anything that kills biological stuff, I'm going to consider that bad. Anything that's supportive of my type of life, I'll consider that good. But then, you know, if I meet some creatures who are totally different than me, I'm not going to just go slaughter them all because it's good for me in some way. You know, you know, all this stuff is just really common sense. Like, consider, you know, everything around you. Think about the world as if it is part of you, and you're part of it. So if you crap on the world, you're crapping on yourself.
And he further says it also means living a life to do what you want to do, not what you have to do to survive.
Well, I think this is another.
What if those ideas are kind of the same?
They should be the same.
I mean.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you living a life where you don't have to do anything to survive, a problem that a lot of people have today, where they have no ability to take care of themselves, and that's how a lot of people are losing their freedom, because they can't take care of themselves. They have no idea how to do it because they've never learned how to take care of themselves. So, you know, the man takes care of people, but that means you're the slave. So if you only focus on what you want to do, like luxury things, then you end up being a slave. So it's really important to like enjoy doing the things you need to do to survive. Like, I don't understand, like, that should be an enjoyable thing. Like, it's part of the adventure, you know?
Okay, so another question, Mike's Tiny Shed of Dreams says, did you hear about the World Economic Forum's Great Reset? No, I wouldn't be surprised if anything that's going on with all these lockdowns and ridiculous stuff going on. Like, there's just the whole system, you know, it's been just getting worse and worse and more ridiculous through my entire life, the whole time I've been paying attention. So would you ever consider going back to the US if somebody made an Adventure Builders headquarter out of your old dome?
No.
Okay.
I mean, there would have to be a spaceship involved.
How far is your nearest shop? 3.5 miles?
A few miles, like 3 miles or so.
Yeah. Question: have you, Jaimie?
That's a small shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's one like
there's
one that's like half a mile away.
I could get rice like right over there, potatoes. Or like the guy has gas and a couple things over there. But like, like a decent, like a corner store kind of shop is like 3 miles away.
Yeah, like I would say survival food we could get right over there.
Yeah,
if we really needed to, because he has flour and stuff like that, beans.
Yeah, if we had no boat and I had to like swim, we could get enough stuff right over there to survive, like within you know,
if we needed
swimming distance.
Question for Jaimie: have you developed a garden plan for your food production?
I'm developing a garden plan.
Yeah, you have a pretty cool thing going on over there.
So far, I'm, to a large degree, I'm just kind of planting stuff in a lot of different places and seeing what works. and then trying different kind of fertilizer-y things like compost. I'm not buying any fertilizer, but like, different things that I can do to the soil to see what works in different places. And yeah, some stuff is growing pretty well. Right in front of my house, I have tons of beans, and I have some popcorn growing. So excited about the popcorn. And then, yeah, some fruit trees, avocado trees, and stuff like that going. And I'm getting some decent results.
Tomatoes, you're awesome.
Woo!
Thank you so much.
He got me an angle grinder and cutoff wheel on Amazon.
Whoa.
That's
that
for
must have been
you.
Me. Whoa, thanks, Tomatoes.
Come
You're
on,
awesome.
man. I'm just kidding.
Like, wait, Jamie has like 8 angle
I was like,
grinders.
yeah.
He has like one for all of his appendages.
This person's like, did I have a falling out with Ellen? Seriously? Are you trying to poke stuff? No, Ellen is awesome. I love Ellen.
Yeah, Ellen's great.
Why can't I talk to her? I haven't talked to her in a
like
while.
a year ago, maybe. I don't know. It was around the time I had Eritrea,
Yeah.
I think. Question: what other Styrocrete projects have you got?
I
planned?
love your hair today, Jaimie. You must also have a man hairdo. Look at my man hairdo. Oh yeah,
What
Bella.
other Styrocrete? Oh, Ellen says hi.
Shut up.
No way.
That's not Ellen.
We need you to tell us something that only Ellen would know.
No, she can't write it here though.
No, she would have to say something in code.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, tell us the Ellen code.
Ellen is amazing and I love her.
Actually,
and
it's funny. I swear I spoke to her like when I was.
Yeah.
I just had Eritrea. Anyway,
Okay, what other
Styrocrete projects have you got planned?
I'm still stuck on. I love your hair today, Jaimie. I'm just gonna pretend that's
so
for real.
Dapper.
Dapper Dan, man. Oh yeah. Okay, so what other Styrocrete projects do I have planned? Well, the one that I'm kind of most interested in right now is domes, like making some, like domes, some igloos, some big igloos out of the Styrocrete. Because I feel like, after building my my cathedral, I've got the technique down pretty good with the Styrocrete pieces, and then putting some some plastic mesh over that, and then spackling over. It comes out really good.
Okay, Tom Lindgreen says Dashaina
Lindgren.
Sorry,
Green.
I don't know why I always say
Lindgreen.
green. I always see 2 E's or something.
How are you?
Dashaina's
Oh,
not
it
answering
disappeared.
any questions. I'm
No.
just gonna say I'll send you a message, Tom. So Anonymous says, question: would you ever get dreads? I don't think you could grow your hair. long
No,
enough to
that's
do
the one
that.
where it's like all kind of like gnarled up
But do you know
hair,
how many
right?
years that would take you to get your hair long enough?
Dude,
to,
my hair grows
do
fast. I cut it like every other day.
Really?
No,
No.
it does grow pretty fast though. But no,
Like,
I
could
don't
do
want dreads. Wouldn't it be so hot on your head? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when I get long hair, I always want to go like this, like to just kind of like spread it out so the air can get through.
Andrew wants to know if we're growing sugarcane, plantains, and breadfruit. Well, yes to the plantains and breadfruit.
I have sugarcane growing on the farm, but I haven't checked on it in a while.
Well, yes to the plantains and breadfruit.
I have sugarcane growing on the farm, but I haven't checked on it in a while.
Yeah.
Plantains, yes.
John Christman.
And breadfruit, breadfruit's not doing that great.
Oh God, I need it to be moved because it hates where it is. It absolutely hates it.
We did get some breadfruits a while ago.
I might be getting some more from this other lady. Anyway, John Christman has actually asked this twice. I just forgot. He wants to know, are there land taxes on your island? And if
No.
so, what is the cost?
No,
John Christman,
which I'm happy about.
send me an email at theadventurebuildermovie@gmail.com.
The answer is just no.
No, to further answer the rest of his questions. If he has any other questions about island purchasing, etc.
Oh,
So apparently,
Well, yeah, if he
Instant
wants-
Life says that he saw.
shut up.
Question: new island tour and how many acres?
That would be cool though if they turned into
That would
Wild
be
Land.
cool.
New island tour and how many acres? Wait,
Okay,
what?
just how many acres is your island?
How many? Is that what he's?
Yeah,
the
that's what he's
question is?
asking.
Wait.
And then he was asking if there's a new island tour, which you have not done. But
How big is my
I
island?
think it's 3/4 acre on just the one of them. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I think it's bigger. I think it's like an acre on the one chunk.
Really?
But then the other, my island is like two islands. Yeah, because I looked at the survey and it
Okay.
didn't include this part. Maybe it's new or something. Because like the survey is kind of old and doesn't include the mangroves, and the mangroves I think
right.
held in some dirt, and there's some, I don't know.
Yeah, it is an old survey.
Anyway, it's probably like an acre and a half currently.
Yes, my son is actually behind the brown table hiding. I was just
Yeah,
touching
he's
his arm.
right
He's
there.
moved since, unless he's still there.
Why did you put
Keep going.
wheels?
Why did you put wheels on the solar dozer instead of legs?
Mostly because
No, pick you up.
I
Because
wanted
you
it
didn't want
to
dents in the
roll.
ground as you stomped along and tore
I
up the
did
ground.
think about it actually, but I didn't want to get that involved in a project at the time. But I also, the point of a bulldozer is to flatten things out. So
Yeah.
I wanted it to stay nice and flat, and then wheels would roll on the nice and flat, so I would stay flat.
So what do you think about that?
I don't know what that even means.
You know what a rickshaw is? It's the thing
Wait.
that you run around.
Oh my god. Wait.
Hold
Well-
on. Jaimie? Oh, you have a wish list. Jaimie posted in the video. The wish list should be.
Dude, my wish list is not there.
It is there. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm just gonna check.
Oh, just stay. It's fine. I can't believe she's posting her wish
I
list
didn't
on my
post
videos.
my wish list.
Is this like the time
Yes.
the police came by and gave you cookies
Yes,
and you
it's
didn't
exactly
tell
like
me?
that. It's my master plan.
You just ate them
As a
all?
matter of fact, this is actually on my channel right now. I got monetized like 3 months ago.
Nice.
And so all this money is
All right,
going to me.
what's all this money? All right.
Did
Have you ever successfully pranked me? You don't do pranks. You're not into jokes.
Pranks,
She
no.
hates when I do pranks.
I don't hate it.
Oh, you want me to get the video
I just
out
don't like
of you?
being involved in them.
Yeah.
As the end person.
You
I
don't
really like being
you
in the
don't
spotlight.
you don't like being involved at all.
No, that's not true. I like being involved when you can just tell me exactly what needs to be done and I understand it clearly. I don't like to be the pranked person.
Yeah.
I don't like surprises either. And I really don't.
One's rickshaw. Well, then if it has a motor, then it's not a rickshaw. I would
Maybe he wants
drag
to
a
turn it
rickshaw
into
around.
one.
Dude, if you bring a rickshaw somewhere.
No, Lydia just showed up. She wants to know about your diet. She left a comment in your one of your videos like yesterday or the day before.
Well, let me just finish this
Okay,
guy.
sorry.
If
I
someone
was just excited that Lydia showed up. Okay, sorry.
If someone brings a rickshaw and is driving the rickshaw around, I will totally say, get in your rickshaw, I'll drive you around. Okay.
Okay, moving on.
Wondering what
Lydia
your
wants
diet
to know
looks
what
like.
your diet looks like, what foods do you buy, and what food do you catch, grow, harvest yourself, bulk items, etc.
Okay. You're not answering this.
No, this is your question. This is not my question. I don't answer questions.
Well, lately, and this changes from time to time, but lately I've been eating like a coconut every day. And usually I'll go outside, find a coconut, shred it up, eat a chunk of it with some oats and raisins and peanuts. And if I have some bananas or something, but I haven't had any in a while, I'll make some cereal and maybe I'll have some cornflakes on top of that. So basically coconutty cereal, oats and stuff. And then I'll take the rest of the shredded coconut, mix it with some flour and, yeast and salt and water and make a blob of bread dough. And my favorite bread dough is the one that gets cooked the next day, because then it starts, kind of fermenting a little and getting sourdoughy. It's supposed to be good for you, and I like it. It makes me feel better than just eating
Well, it's easier
flour.
for your body to digest.
I eat more flour than I would like because it's cheap and convenient. So the day-old bread dough, it's partly digested flour, so that's really.
I think Yampi is actually cheaper than flour at this point.
Dude, I love Yampi so much more. Anyway, that's what I've been doing for breakfast mostly lately. And then lunch, when I'm at my house by myself, a lot of times I skip lunch.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
inconvenience is stop.
Like, am I gonna stop and cook when it's just for me? Like, if someone else is at my house, when the kids are over, obviously I cook lots of stuff. But when I'm there by myself, I'm just like, I cook
once on Friday when the kids leave. I cook on Friday.
So what's the interruption rate?
Eat that.
So anyway, and then dinner, I don't know. What do I eat for dinner?
Beans, chili.
Oh yeah, the last week I made a huge pot of chili a week ago. I just finished it, and it was basically beans and tomato paste. And then every day I would add more stuff to it, like I put some peppers in and some garlic and just a bunch of katuk leaves. Katuk is kind of like the spinachy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
I actually showed that in my Good Morning Let's Make Breakfast video this morning.
Yeah, I eat a lot of
katuk.
Tomato sauce stuff.
Yeah.
I like tomato sauce.
I know.
And then I don't feel like I've been eating the best,
Yeah,
but
I think you could probably get
not too
more
bad. No,
greens.
I do. Okay, that's like kind of the basic stuff. But what else do I eat for dinner? I can't remember what I eat for dinner because I just had it an entire week of chili every day.
Cheese.
But
Eggs sometimes, potatoes.
I haven't gotten eggs from you for a while.
Oh yeah, because the chickens were on
But
strike.
if I have yampi or which is like a potatoy thing. There's a bunch of different potatoy things. I'm just gonna call them potatoy things.
Starchy stuff.
Like I like potatoy things, and I'll usually either boil them. Well, I usually boil them, and then sometimes mash them, or sometimes just eat them the way they
Macaroni and cheese.
are. Okay, the macaroni and cheese happens every weekend because Aurora.
I just remember that.
every Saturday, I say to Aurora, "What do you want to eat for dinner?" And she's like, "Macaroni and cheese." But I don't just make plain old macaroni and cheese. I use bread dough that I've made with coconut in it, so there's lots of coconut in it, and then I break off little bits and put that in the boiling water for the noodles, and then mix that with the cheese powder stuff. So it's much more nutritious than just box of macaroni and cheese.
Craft dinner. No craft dinner.
But then I also eat like stuff just around my yard. Like there's cocoa plums a lot of the time. There's this stuff called katuk, which is like spinach that I'll just eat, as I'm walking past. Or I'll put in things.
This is relating to food. Can you catch shrimp in the area?
Now I've not been catching fish enough. I need to start doing that again. How's the trap doing?
We
Is there
checked
anything in it?
Yesterday. It was like 3 tiny fish and like 4 crabs. I caught a snake.
So, yeah, I guess this is one of the reasons I feel like I need another person. Like I feel like I'm juggling so much stuff. Like
I feel like the trap needs to be out further by the thing.
I need someone to sit on my boat
Hi,
and
little
throw a
buddy.
fishing line out while I'm driving, which I used to do more often, but now it's like I'm I don't know. I just need to start doing it again. Just start dragging a line whenever I'm driving between here and my house or to the store or whatever. I have thought about building a submarine. Yes,
I was just
definitely.
Ask you, have you thought about building a submarine? Somebody wants to know, how about animal protein? Well, you get that once a week on Wednesday.
Yeah, every Wednesday. Well, every Wednesday the vegetable boat comes, and we get chicken and vegetables. Every Wednesday the vegetable boat comes, and we get chicken and vegetables
and stuff too. But we don't.
And yeah, for a while I was getting green peppers and tomatoes every week, and I was like, I didn't know what else to ask for, so I was like, just get me some green peppers and tomatoes. And then like a month of that went by, and I was like, I don't want green peppers and tomatoes. So last week I said, get me a cabbage and some carrots.
Yeah, how'd that go?
That was great.
Yeah.
I cut it up into little slices, like little strings, and put some vinegar and some oil and some salt.
Yeah.
And some mustard, mix it all up, and it was delicious.
So
Salads.
Do you want to meat production source that we're working on?
Okay, and also whenever I go to town, I usually buy
hamburger,
like a bunch of hamburger or something like that.
We also get hot dogs and stuff like that when we go to the local store.
Yeah.
We have them.
Yeah. Which isn't that often, but once in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the meat stuff, I need to start fishing more again.
Yeah, for sure.
But you have chickens.
I do have chickens.
And they're lazy. They don't do anything.
I think it was the rain, actually. I've discovered that I think they just refuse to lay when it's raining.
Well, the other thing is, like, I almost never get eggs from you because, like, you eat the eggs, and then like 4 kids will eat the eggs, and then by the time that's done, there's no eggs.
Well, now there will be, because I have 21 birds.
Good.
Not
once
including the
in a while, I get a couple eggs from Dashaina.
Well, when they are,
Well, if you get more, I will totally take them. That'll be great.
I always do when they're in production. I think we just had some shitty weather, and they. Anyway, do you eat any pizza?
Oh, I love pizza.
Can you harvest honey?
So one of my favorite ways to make pizza is this is what I do with. Yeah, before the chili happened for a whole week, I would sometimes make like get plantains or any kind of potato product.
Yes, sweet boy.
Plantains are kind of like potatoes. Boil them, mash it up, and make put that in the bottom of a pan, then put tomato sauce on top of that, and then
Oh,
If I have some cheese, I'll put that on, which I almost never do.
Aurora, could you?
What's wrong with him?
Could you get some peanuts for him, please?
No one got him?
No, I did. I had gave him a whole cup of them, but if
Oh.
somehow.
He gave him, well, he gave him donuts and ran away mad.
Jaimie needs a personal assistant.
Yeah, he does.
I need a, yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about making a robot, actually.
He says, what have you thought about making a submarine? What?
Oh, you want details?
Details, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, give us the details.
I'm not really at the point where there are details yet.
Yeah.
It's just more like, boy, I should get to a submarine, but probably fiberglass. Outer hull.
Do you want to answer Popcorn Powers? Is there edible seaweed in the area? And yes, I think is basically the answer, but we'd have to set up ropes and stuff for that.
Sorry. Oh, edible seaweed in our area. Well, yeah, I don't know anything about the seaweed. We need to learn some seaweed stuff.
Yeah.
I need some seaweed.
From what I've read.
This is why I also need a personal assistant who can be like knowledgeable about seaweed and like farming or stuff.
So what I've read about it in this area is that you put a rope out that, from one floating thing to another, and then you have ropes that go down to the bottom and it will grow up the side.
I have seen people doing that.
That's the edible.
And that's the edible. How do you know if it's the edible one? Like, what if the non-edible one grows on it? I don't think the
non-edible one grows onto it, but
I wouldn't trust it.
Sure, so.
Like, I need to know what the edible one looks like before I go eating it.
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't have enough information for.
But it is in the mind, like it's in our.
Oh, peanut butter, yeah. So I was saying, I make
bars.
I make a lot of bread, which is really coconut. It's like 50% coconut when I make the bread. And then I put peanut butter on it, and I grind my own peanut butter because I hate peanut butter with sugar in it. I hate how they put sugar in everything. It drives me nuts.
Could you outline your plans for the next 2 months, and what are you planning ideally to have completed? Come on, Mr. Schedule.
Oh, I can't schedule it like that. But well, I want to finish spackling the house, and I just got my little white boat, upgraded, so I should be able to zoom to town and back faster. I say zoom, but it's zooming for a little solar pedal boat anyway. And so once I get the house spackled, I want to get some more food growing, and we're working on getting some other plants from some people, trading some plants and stuff. And then when the materials get here, I want to do the roof. So I guess the thing I really want to get done, like the major thing I want to get done next, is waterproof my house, like totally, like 0 drips,
That'd be nice.
Yeah. And spackling the walls has actually helped a lot. And I'm not even done the spackling. But the Styrocrete, at least the way I make it, is porous, so water could, get through. The spackling, the outside, the water doesn't come through.
I'll come down and see you guys in a few minutes.
Yeah, so waterproofing, making the super long-term roof.
Do you have an herb garden or?
Okay. I do have some garlic planted. It's not planted in a special thing or anything. It's just out in front of my house. It seems to be growing though, so I don't know.
Would you say you are a workaholic?
No. I mean, I have stuff I want to do. Some people might think I'm a workaholic, but like I figure if I'm enjoying it, then it's not really work. Someone had some quote about work and play not being any different to certain people.
Well, yeah, like for kids, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Because they play to learn. So.
Yeah, like I'm playing this video game in real life, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's always like going smoothly or anything. That's part of the game, I'm enjoying it.
All right, so if there's any questions that we haven't gotten to, feel free to post them again so that we can make sure we answer them. But I think we're going to sign off in a few minutes. And Paul Vasquez was saying that we need to look into seaweed because you can eat it, and a bunch of products that are made and sold every day are containing some extract from the seaweed. And you can also make some fuel from it.
I don't know about this making fuel. I have to look into that. Is that going to be practical?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. So what do you think?
I don't know. What else? Do you have any other questions?
I think that's it.
Or should I just talk about nothing? Everyone's done with
I
questions.
think we're done with questions.
Well, maybe I don't need to do this next week because I've run out of things to say.
Oh, there is one question just popped up. You have mentioned in other videos that you hate having to purchase fuel. Have you considered making your own biodiesel production?
I guess I've thought about it, but I kind of like electric motors because they're so simple. You know, combustion
Yeah, they don't
engine
require
is,
like maintenance, really, right?
yeah, like basically nothing. Like a combustion engine needs so much stuff.
Yeah, I learned that from our neighbor who's constantly having problems
yeah.
with hers.
Yeah.
And I remember with cars, you had to get them.
You know, if I was gonna do an engine that uses fuel, I'll probably make a steam engine, which I think I will do at some point.
Oh, did I tell you my parents?
And then you burn anything in it.
My parents just got an electric vehicle.
No way.
Finally, yeah. I know. That was weird. They told me about it a couple days ago.
Does it have a solar panel on it?
No, I don't think so. It's like a something Nissan Leaf, I think, or I think I'm
What
mixed up.
What is Project Hail Mary? Are you sick of me recommending Project Hail Mary yet? I don't know what that is.
What's Project Hail Mary? I have no idea. It's a labor of love. That's what it is called when you make your living doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
So hey there, I've been watching for a super long time. It makes me happy to see your lifestyle leading to positive and creative areas.
This guy says seaweed is a good fertilizer.
Oh yeah.
Let's try that.
Oh yeah, I was going to tell you about
let the rain
Korean...
wash the salt out for 2 weeks first. What?
There's also a Korean method that I was telling you about the other day where they were saying there's a special mixture of like you scoop ocean water from the bottom to get the stuff or whatever, and then you do like a dilution of like 30-1 or whatever when your trees have fruited, and it helps the fruit to like be better or something.
So basically the bottom of the ocean muck.
I don't know if, yeah, and something because that's where the minerals are apparently. Anyway, it's in the new gardening group I'm part of. Question, are you guys going to have more children?
Like, am I going to have more children?
Yeah, are you going to have more children?
I don't know. I'd love to have more children. Are you going to have more children?
Ask me in like 6 months because, yeah, it's been a rough couple days right now, and I'm thinking no. I haven't slept in like 6 days.
I want my kids to have like a whole army of siblings that'll watch out for each other.
I think we somehow missed something.
What did we miss?
Hold on, let me see where it is. Maybe it's, oh, wait. Just making sure because I just saw that number change. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Tomatoes is making sure we post Jamie's wish list, which I don't know how I did that, but I'll have to look it up. I'm still confused as to how it's a different wish list. Question.
Steam engine powered paddle wheel boat. Yeah,
when
man.
are you going to open a fishing charter on the shark fin?
The shark fin, the shark slicer. I don't know. The problem is like.
Hi.
I
don't know. I guess I could do it. It moves. I'd be so weather dependent is part of the problem.
Chocolate milk stash? You have chocolate milk stash? Yeah, you're like, just give me the milkies, mama. Yeah, can you lift that up or over? Or yeah.
Whoa, I know there are Dutch sea dikes made out of seaweed because those weeds don't rot under certain circumstances. You know, that's the kind of like stuff I would love to learn. Like there's all this kind of old knowledge that's been lost.
Yeah. All right, so I'll make sure and update the description with the wish list, which I'm so confused. Oh, I know why it's not in this description because I have to manually put it in. It should be in any of the descriptions of his other videos that have most recently put up. However, if it's not, I will double check them once we get off of the live stream today.
This guy has 8 siblings and it's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, we each have 4, and then these kids have 6 each, basically.
Oh, you mean in the future you hope they'll have 6?
No, you have 7 kids total.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Each of them has like 6 siblings.
Oh, 6 siblings. Yeah, but that only counts if they move here.
I know, it's true. So question, do you notice the tidal rising, global warming, the water level?
I don't know. Do we notice that? I mean, I'm aware of it. Like there's, I'm very aware of where the high tide mark is on my land. And, there's a fairly significant area that's dry 99% of the time that I would like to put a little more dirt on so it would always stay dry. Because, if the water comes in there once every few weeks, it's going to kill any plants I try to put there. Or, if I try to build anything, I can't build anything there or anything.
How big can you make a boat before it starts getting noticed? I mean, anything you make starts getting noticed.
all my boats get noticed. Yeah,
so like weird. Even my boat gets noticed.
Yeah, it's like
the smallest one.
It's like driving a parade float around. Everyone's like, ah!
Yeah.
And like people will stop, but it hasn't been a problem because no one like wants to like cite me for regulations or anything. Like the police will come by and be like, "Hey, cool boat, man," except in Spanish.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm driving my paddle boat around, I always see people in other boats going like this.
Yeah.
That's the universal, hey, look at the paddle boat sign.
So somebody else wants to know, has it been getting hotter every year since you guys moved there due to global warming? No.
Not noticeably.
I would say our temperature has been the
same. I mean, the thing is, global warming is like fractions of a degree overall.
Yeah.
But it supposedly, in certain places, the temperature would change more. But yeah, nothing significant here.
Here it's not.
Here it's pretty comfortable all the time.
Do you do some sketchy stuff when building? What's the worst injury you've gotten in Panama so far?
What's the worst injury?
Oh, your toenail.
Nah, I lost a toenail. That's not a big deal.
Well, I was saying it's not like it was a big deal, but I would say maybe that was like the worst.
Yeah, well,
thing.
half the reason I lost the toenail is like I smashed my toenail and it was like all purple, and then like about 250 times the kids stepped on. It's like once there's a swollen toe, it's like the kids are just like, oh my gosh, I gotta step right there as hard as I can.
Not intentionally.
And I'd be trying to hide it like under myself, and somehow they would just keep stepping on it. But what's the worst injury I've got?
I mean, honestly, I don't think you really had anything worse than that, like injury.
Yeah.
I mean, you got hit on the head like once, maybe you had a little scratch on the head.
I walked right into the concrete like doorway because it was low and I was wearing my hat so I couldn't see right.
I did that.
Oh man.
I did that to that rose tree.
I mean, I gave myself minor whiplash, but I was all right.
And then maybe the scratch you had on your like rib area.
No, I haven't really had anything significant.
Yeah. Question: do bull sharks inhabit the waters around your island?
Nope.
Have you considered making a huge ferry?
No, I don't know. I thought about not a ferry. Like I don't know what I would do with a ferry. Like where am I going to ferry people?
Yeah, I don't know.
But like I thought about
is a ferry a type of boat, or is it just the thing that it does?
Well, I think it's what it does. It ferries people back and forth.
So like your boat could be a ferry right now.
Yeah.
If you were taking groceries.
But I have thought about making or acquiring somewhere between somehow getting a big boat, sort of as an emergency bug out vehicle, just in case, who knows?
Yeah.
Like it would be kind of nice to have like some big boat that could
bigger than the biggest boat you have right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although that one would be kind of all right. But like a boat that I could within a few hours equip to like go and leave.
Very pretty.
Wawa.
Yeah, it's Aurora's. Did you want to say hi?
Turtle.
Oh, she painted your toenails. Is your house well concealed? A hidden cathedral in the jungle.
It is pretty well concealed. Not many people know about it. And like I was saying earlier, people have tried to come visit and not known how to get into my island.
Make sure you guys are adding question to the beginning of your questions, please, not just at the end. What's the most interesting thing you found on your land?
Well, there was a pair of old brass clocks. At least I'm pretty sure they were clocks, but like all of the wood parts were gone and everything. All that was left was brass gears.
Well,
that was pretty cool.
What did you do with it?
Nothing yet. It's just
it's in the collection of stuff to do something.
Collection of parts.
Are there lobsters in the area?
There are lobsters, but not many because
They got
people have been
eaten.
overfishing for years.
Yeah.
Because all the
Punk.
tourists, once you have tourists,
And punk also.
Oh, if I had pirate treasure, oh man. I've done a significant amount of digging and not found any pirate treasure.
How far do you have to travel? Do you travel to collect fresh water from the river? I think he means on your farm island.
Well,
property.
it's not very far.
Yeah, it's like
a few minutes.
Right, but I think distance-wise, it's like.
I
once
don't
you
feel
get
like
onto it,
drawing
yeah.
a freaking map. But
Yeah.
a few minutes in my pedal boat. I don't know, 5 minutes. And then like a 10-minute walk.
That's what I was talking about, was the walk part.
Maybe a 5-minute walk.
How long was the walk?
I don't know. It's like a quarter mile about.
Yeah.
Through the jungle.
Have you looked at the internal gear hubs with a belt drive instead of chain?
Well, I don't really want to do belt drive because belts get old and
Snap.
Like I would rather do gears. I like gears more because just fewer moving parts and nothing, not relying on some rubbery thing that's not gonna disintegrate.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe there are belts that don't disintegrate, but.
Have you seen how easy it is to boil water with a Fresnel lens and sunlight?
I have done that. I wish my lens got here. It's one of the things that didn't make it to here.
Any plans for wind power or windmill projects?
Yes, but not
anything
short term.
Articulate.
Because it's I could articulate what I've been dreaming about.
Yeah.
So my island is like a bigger island than a littler island. And the littler island kind of faces a direction that gets a lot of wind. And I would love to build the Dutch windmill, the big thing.
Oh yeah, the big one with the sail wind, like the sail.
And then have that running like a lumber mill, or just make that a workshop and have the wind be able to, go to a whole bunch of different things. Like have one crankshaft coming down from the thing and then go across, and it would go right across the ceiling of the building. Like you see this in old style factories. And then off that main crankshaft, there would be spots where you can attach belts, like pulleys, to run various different machines. Oh, that would be amazing.
Question.
Do we have mahogany trees? Yes, we have lots of
them.
We found out that one of the most common types of wood here
is mahogany. It's type of mahogany.
We've been told, what was it? Red Mayo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rojo,
people.
Mayo, Rojo.
Yeah, people around here call it Mayo Rojo, so red Mayo, but it's mahogany.
And there's a black one too.
Are there any artesian flowing wells?
Or C notes? Is it C notes?
I'm gonna presume it's an artesian well. I don't know what a C note is.
I don't either.
I mean, it's $100, but. Are there any artesian wells flowing around here? Not that I know of.
I think so.
But there are streams on, like my one piece of land has a stream running through it that always runs.
What's the hardest item for you guys to get that you may regularly need?
What do we? Pizza ingredients. Like
Taco Bell.
What do we? Well, maybe now it's sand and rocks because we lost our sand and rocks guy because he was being super sketchy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not hard. There are tons of people who will.
I mean, I guess the question is kind of tricky.
I can just go do it.
Anyway, because I feel like if we regularly need it, it's not hard for us to get it.
Yeah, whatever we can't get, we just get something else to do the thing. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what we regularly need that's hard to get.
Right.
I mean, I want to build an aluminum boat, when I get to that point. And that's going to be a bit of a pain getting the sheets of metal.
Aluminum.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, the thing that's kind of hard to get is like plants.
Plants? Well, it's not that hard. It just means we have to socialize.
Certain kinds of plants, like figs, apparently, will potentially grow here, but trying to get the thing sometimes.
Without going to a city that has a nursery.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult.
Yeah. And then,
So,
I think that is a lot just because of the way our society works, where people are like, I'm not giving you stuff.
right.
Like, you have to trade, and it
But
has to
I
be
will
something I want.
say that,
Yeah,
I
you
put out
started
a
doing
call
that.
for that recently, and I got a bunch of really cool responses, and I got to know the people a little better, and they were like, "Oh, we have stuff we can give you. Like, hey, we'll
Yeah.
trade for star fruit and whatever." So like that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So
What do you want?
yeah.
Wait, there was a question there that
Oh, did I miss something?
there
Oh, can
was.
you build a
Oh, yeah.
water wheel generator to get electricity from the river? Oh
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
Is that the ram pump thing?
No, that's
No, it's
not.
something different.
That's not to make electricity. That's just to pump the water up. But do want to do that
Yeah.
too. But the water wheel generator, the thing is, we're in a tropical environment. There's so much sun here. The solar panels are amazing.
Yeah.
But I do kind of want to, at some point, make some other things.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to have that, because then we could have like a house thing out in the middle of the
Yeah, I
forest
want
and not worry
to.
about
I want
solar
to.
panels.
Yeah, I want to build like a bunker out by the river, and that could be its electricity,
Yeah.
which
I
would be
think
great
that's
because it would be 24-hour electricity.
cool. Question: how do you get the cheese for pizza?
Oh, well, I go to town, which is like a few hours away, in my solar pedal boat, and then I buy the cheese and I put it in a styrofoam thing and get it home.
Yeah.
This kid is hilarious.
She's pretty hilarious. Question: can you give a cryptic clue about what shady stuff the sand guy did?
Oh, it's just every time he shows up,
Yeah.
he's got smaller and smaller amounts and wants more and more money.
Yeah.
And at some point, I was just like, no, dude, no more. Forget it.
Yeah. So
And like we negotiated. So we negotiated a price per bucket for this sand and rocks, and like, just every time he wants to short me,
Yeah,
like more
this
and more.
last time was the worst
And the
one.
last time
And it's because you weren't here.
he unloaded it in a really irritating spot. Like, he unloaded a bunch of sand on top of a bunch of rocks and sand. And the rocks and sand I can use for concrete. And the sand I'll use for mortar. So I like them separate. And I had two separate areas. The guy knows there's two separate areas. I had the one pile here. There was a huge space for the other thing.
Yeah.
But he just piled it on top of the opposite thing. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And yeah, it would out. And he
Right.
thought, well, if I pile it on top of that other stuff, it'll look like more.
Yeah.
But
It was terrible.
yeah, I wasn't fooled apparently. And I was just so irritated. I was like, okay, no more from this guy. God.
Yeah.
And the stupid thing is, like, I don't understand why people do this. Like I am this, I don't know how often this guy gets jobs, but I know that I'm a significant
Well,
part
you're reliable, like
of his income.
Yeah, every couple months he'll ask us if
Well,
you
like
need
every month
work.
he'll bring stuff, and you
Yeah.
know, he has a pretty low overhead operation going on. He doesn't need a lot of money, but like maybe like once a month or so,
Yeah.
like on average, he would bring a boatload of rocks, sand, or rocks and sand, whatever. And yeah, it's just, I don't understand how he just takes that for granted to the point where I'm like, no more,
Yeah.
forget it. And yeah, I mean, the way I think is, like, if you have someone who is your reliable customer, and you know things are like, you got to take care of them, or they're not. You can't expect someone to take care of you without taking care of them.
Yeah.
But I also understand that's how most of the world works. Like, take as much as you can, give as little, and that's what people do, which makes no sense. Which goes back to this duality thing the guy was talking about in a roundabout way. I was saying you have to think about the world as if it's part of you. Like, if you crap on the world, you're crapping on yourself. You could also just think about it like karma. You know, everything comes back to you eventually in some way.
It does. So, you know the big hill on your island, right?
Which big hill? The one behind my house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever consider building a hobbit hole style house in it?
I did, actually. Even now, so there's my house, and then behind my house is, wait, I'll do it this way. There's my house, and then behind my house is a concrete, like, retaining wall, and behind that is all dirt. I've considered cutting a hole and just digging into the hill, but I feel like it's gonna open a can of worms. Like, it's gonna be cool, but
I mean, you could.
I'll do that if I get done all the things I need to do, maybe. Like, that comes after submarine.
What I was thinking is you could always do something like that on the farm property.
Yeah, well, I think if I'm going to do like a hobbit house, I would build a house and
And
just
then
throw dirt on it.
cover
Would
it.
be way easier than digging a hole into the side of a hill.
Would you dig out some and have like a little?
Well,
No.
if there was like a hill, maybe
Yeah.
dig out one side of the hill and throw the dirt over here, then build the house like right up against the dirt, and then take the dirt and put it back on. Like,
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Do you have to replace anodes on your boats often?
no, anodes are something you put on a metal boat. I don't have any metal boats. So you put anodes on a metal boat, which is like if you have a steel boat, I think you can put a chunk of zinc onto the outside, and then the zinc will get used up by the seawater instead of rusting the steel. But once the zinc gets used up, your boat will start rusting unless you get another anode on there. But I have all fiberglass, so it doesn't need that.
Oh, here apparently is an answer. Highest liked to watching ratio I've ever seen. People love you guys.
No.
There is a hardwood walnut in Belize. I am betting the same tree live around there also.
Wait, walnut? Like walnuts? Can we get walnuts off it? I would love to grow walnuts.
Yeah, I know. That would be awesome. Will you endlessly expand your ownership, or do you see a point at which you will consolidate and maintain what you have built and live without expanding further, or even reduce your stewardship?
Well, I haven't. Like a few years ago, I started telling people I don't want any more land. I have enough land.
Yeah.
And like at this point, I think I have enough land for all of our kids to have a place, presuming they want it. And
I still want to get that
enough.
island over there by the other island. The one in between Susanna.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
one across from it.
That little island that's
Yeah.
like right over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't want any more land.
Oh, thanks, Tomaters. Cute little photo bomb. Photo bomb.
Photo bomb.
She totally did that. Okay, let's see. Question: who is your favorite science fiction author and favorite book that you've listened to? Because you don't read.
I don't know how to read.
No, you were listening to a science fiction book recently that you really liked. Arthur Conan Doyle.
I was talking about the Lost World, yeah.
Yeah.
But I listened to a bunch of his other ones. Not as good.
Some of his stuff's not that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lost World was my favorite one by far.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I spend most of my time doing stuff and then not reading.
Yeah. You did like Ender's Game when I read it to you.
Yeah, I actually like that movie too.
Yeah.
I understand why it didn't do well, because there was some PR issue with the writer. He caused some problems for the movie, but I thought the movie was pretty good.
Are superficial and materialistic people banned from visiting the island?
They're not banned, but
It depends on their behavior.
if they come, yeah, superficial and materialistic people generally, God, they're so impossible to deal with.
Oh, it's not a little dude. It's actually our daughter. The youngest one is the daughter, and she's currently swinging and being a boat. And singing to herself.
In case you couldn't tell, this one's also a girl.
Yeah, this
obviously.
is our other. We have 3 girls, Aurora, Bellatrix, and Eritrea being the youngest one. And then Carcanyon is our 3rd child. And
my man child.
He's our little son. Question: what advice would you give to someone who's trying to start being self-sufficient and begin a homestyle lifestyle?
A homestead lifestyle.
Homestead, sorry.
Okay, what advice would I give to someone who's trying to start being... Okay. Now, this presumes that your brain functions, which it probably does if you want to do this. Trust yourself more than everyone else. Like, I said something about this last week. Like, if something doesn't make sense to you, don't do it. And if someone's telling you really need to do something, like, figure out what they're trying to say, what they're trying to communicate before you do it. Don't take anything on faith. And if you have an idea that you think you want to try to, just to try something, don't be afraid to do it. Totally try things and know that sometimes things aren't going to work out. Things are going to blow up in your face. Sometimes things are totally not going to work out at all. But if you keep trying things, a lot of times things are going to work out. And whether or not something works out, you're going to learn something, and that's how you keep progressing. So don't be afraid to try things. And yeah, it depends what point you're at. You know, when you first buy land that you're hoping to live on, it's kind of a scary thing. Like I remember when I first bought my land, I was like super excited, but I was also like, this is a big step. You know, it's a lot of responsibility I'm giving myself. But don't worry about that. You know, being alive is responsibility. And you know what? You're going to die one day. There's no getting around it. You could die anytime. So don't be afraid to try things and go for it. And trust yourself more than everyone else. That's the most important thing. Trust yourself.
Another question is, how much is a gallon of gasoline and a pound of hamburger? I can tell you the gasoline because Terry was just here.
Pound of hamburger is like $2, $1.50, $2.
Is it?
Yeah, somewhere between like $1.50 and $2. Well, gasoline's like $5 a gallon or something. Is it more? What?
Over at the store right there.
Oh, that doesn't count. That
overcharges. 3 different prices. So over there, it's $6.75 a gallon.
Yeah.
At Medardo's, it's $5.90, and at Jose's, it's $5.30.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are a lot cheaper.
So cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't want gasoline. Although I do have a chainsaw, and I do get gasoline for that once in a while.
Have you read Henry David Thoreau?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah. Oh no, it's okay. Well, I mean, dude. Usually when people say dude, they always seem to think she's a boy. That's the only reason I corrected that. What do you do when the kids are gone with him? Oh, that's a question.
Yeah, what do you do when the kids are hanging out with me?
Any questions? I will answer them on my channel.
You go to sleep.
I wish. No, I still have her.
The thing is, she always has the little baby. Yeah. Well, not always. Sometimes you bring her over. But she's still breastfeeding, so she can't be away from her mom for too long.
Yeah. Are there parallel universes where Jaimie is less inspirational, or are they all pretty amazing?
Well, oh, shucks. Well, if it's gonna be me, it would have to be like me. If it was different than me, that would be someone else.
Well, I mean,
but I guess they could still be called Jaimie.
All these possibilities.
Well, now I'm thinking, what if
multi-universe?
What if something happened in my past and I turned out totally different? Well,
what if your parents didn't give you so much candy?
Ugh. Yeah.
Or were more supportive?
Yeah, maybe then I would have stuck in the system.
Yeah. Or maybe if your sister was nicer to you.
Yeah, my family was, I mean, I don't want to crap on my family too much, but they made it very easy to leave, basically. What if I had no Lego? That's right. What if I grew up with no Lego?
I know, it's
Oh my
true.
gosh. I would have just, once I started cutting up popsicle sticks and my mom's coat hangers, which she loved.
I bet she loved that.
And building things out of that. I would have built stuff out of anything. Yeah. But Lego is pretty awesome.
Okay, so I'm not sure about what this question is. How about seafood you don't eat?
Well, we eat a lot of seafood.
Oh my God, we eat seafood.
I mean, we don't eat a lot of it because I have not been fishing enough.
Wait, there's an important question. Any place on the island to make kids an awesome rope swing that would jump off into the water?
I could definitely do it. But like I was saying earlier, like I don't want to put something around the edge of my island that's going to be inviting to people. Because right now, you come up to my island, it is just like wall of like jungle.
Yeah. Well, you could do it in.
But then you stick your head through, and it's like this cool little spot. And I really like that no one comes to visit my island.
Yeah.
Like not no one, but like no one unannounced. Like no one just shows up and is like, "Oh, your place looks so inviting. I just had to come up." No one just stops by my island, and I love that. Like if someone's coming to my island, it's because they know me.
What if you glued to an iPad? Like
well, I could make something like a crane that can stick out, and we can do rope swings and then come back.
Zachary wants to know why you don't try to troll for like barracuda or something.
Yeah, I just need to get. I have done that lots of times. I used to always do that, but I just stopped doing it. I need to get my fishing thing back out and start doing it more again.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I've just been busy doing other stuff.
Should we go get lunch?
Do you see some kids are using your old living space? Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. Do you want to go get lunch? It's lunchtime.
Oh, I would not have grown up glued to an iPad. No. Oh no.
That went right into the picture.
All right. Sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't know she had no butt
Yeah, that's why I kept putting her low.
on. All right. Just remember to edit that out.
Yeah, right at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, lunch.
Okay, I think we're taking off.
Lunch
Going to
time.
have lunch?
Yes, lunchtime.
Lunchtime.
Okay, I'll fix the wish list. Oops. And thanks to everybody who supported.
Yes. Thanks to everyone who's amazing. Well, thanks to
Yeah,
everyone who's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. Supported
Yes.
by asking questions and keeping us
I did. I'm just
entertained.
saying thanks to everyone for being amazing.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
thanks
saying.
to everyone for being amazing. Dutch windmill shop, yes.
Yes.
Floating
That would be amazing.
Styrocrete platform, yes. All right, guys. We'll talk
Okay.
to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
You got 18%.